And this is exactly where we're going to start because I know last week we was talking about the stuff in Ukraine, but one thing that kind of like affected us because of this is that gas prices done jump. It's like $4 up to where I'm at. In other places, like $6, $7, $8. I've seen people gas tank. It takes like $100 to fill up a gas tank. Some like even 300. So I wanted to ask this question. How does these gas prices been affecting y'all, and how long do you think this will last?
Oh shit. No, I'm laughing because not a couple of hours ago, yeah, I don't know who here is familiar with Haha Davis,
Yeah,
but he posted a video on Instagram. He pulled up to a gas station, and when he seen the rise in the gas prices, he just abandoned the car. His cameraman's like, "Hey, where you go? Where you going? What you just gonna leave your car here? Nah, you can have it. How you get into your people's house? I'm gonna just walk. They live across town. I don't care. Just when you got to pay fucking when you got to pay damn near a whole paycheck to put gas in your car, that's a problem.
A
That's a
whole
huge
check.
problem. Almost an entire check. I got I got friends and relatives in Cali, and what was you saying about them about some places it being $7 a gallon? Yeah, that's what
yeah.
Cali is dealing with right now.
And they've been worse. They've been seeing four and up for like months now.
Yeah,
Shout out to people in Cali.
yeah. Mind you, everything is expensive in motherfucking California, but damn.
Honestly, I thought that was the reason why they always roll old Cadillacs, so they have to fill up that gas prices so high. So,
Yeah, but
uh,
depending on what model, depending on what Cadillac you get, and especially if you got a full blown fucking Escalade and SUV, yeah. Um,
who's
that
buying an Escalade in this type of environment?
hey, I'm gonna tell you like this. I got a friend in North Carolina that got hold of one just before the gas prices jumped, and SUVs in general eat gas like a motherfucker.
Oh, I know,
So she's regretting
I
that decision.
definitely know.
She is regretting that decision right now. I haven't spoken to her in about a week, but like she's regretting that decision right now.
I bet. Dewa, Chris, this affected any one of y'all?
Yeah, a bit. Paid an extra few dollars, but I saw this coming because what did he do, man? He didn't the sanctions happen like the day before the attack?
Something like that. I know they was talking about it.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's shutting Russia down one way or another. Russia just not going to have anything.
Yeah, then he cut off our own pipeline just to benefit. Like it's weird how we're importing gas for like the last before this former vice president came in, we were running on our own shit. And then he just cut that shit off. Then the prices just went back up. And now we're in this situation with Russia. Now it's getting even worse. So I'm like, I saw it coming.
I feel like all this is going to do is this is going to speed up the rise of the fully electric cars that Biden's been talking about. This shit.
That's a problem too. If you think about it, that's a problem. You don't want. First of all, who can afford that when you're ready? Okay.
I was about to say, them cars are not cheap.
You can't even, yeah, I'm saying like we have a problem paying for gas. So you think you have money to put together to get an electric car? And not only that, right now there are people online saying, hey, Tesla, why don't you just shut down the cars in Russia? And I'm like, okay, so you do that. And you're also telling people to switch over to fully electric. So if any of us has something to say about something, they could just cut off our gas. Cut off our electricity and cut off our cars. and not everyone will be at a stranglehold.
Yeah, that's shooting yourself in the foot. That
Yeah.
really is shooting yourself in the foot.
That's insane.
I think that right after the pandemic, personally speaking, I think that the president could have made a better strategy so we're not affected. So right now, he wants us to go back to work, and the ones that are working, we're not really bothered by that. But now we're bothered by, after paying off how many days or how many months, people are being evicted left and right. So the ones that finally get a place to live, now they got to think about, oh, how the fuck am I going to get to work? And places like Vegas, let me tell you about Vegas. Their system to get from point A to point B on a bus fucking sucks. I had to wait 30 minutes just to get to work. So if I wanted to get to work for 8, I would have to take a bus that's 5 o'clock in the fucking morning because their service sucks that much. Okay? So now you're saying with all the gas prices, if I wanted to drive my own car, I couldn't. I'm back taking the bus, leaving me liable to possibly lose my job because now I'm dependent on a transportation system that fucking sucks. I don't get how they're expecting us to function with all of this fuckery. The war should have nothing, and I do mean nothing, to do with us, but it does. It's affecting us in some way, shape, or form. So I'm trying to figure out, on top of getting low pay, on top of trying to maintain food, if you have kids, God bless your heart, but all that money goes to them, and etc. Now we have to worry about rent. Gas prices going up on top of rent and all that other shit.
See, the world in general is in a very weird space right now because you gotta think we're still dealing with fucking COVID on top of everything going on with Ukraine and Russia and shit. So the world as a whole is in a very, very strange space right now.
Yeah, well, since Crystal already brought it up, and that was one of my topics about Joe Biden wanting us to go back into the office and fill the downtown. Two questions: do you think are we ready for that? Because there's still a pandemic. I don't want to say a pandemic, but COVID is still out there. It's not like we didn't forget about COVID, but do you think people are like mentally ready to go back downtown when working at home was kind of not only it worked, but a lot of people, it benefited a lot of other people that worked at home. How do y'all feel about that?
I think working from home is a problem.
You think working from home is a problem?
Yeah, we spoke on it a bit, and I think Fada made a great point about it and this was when I first got on here. We were talking about mental health. Like, people are staying home, people are just going crazy. And that's not helping. Now, first was COVID, now it's gas keeping us home, because a lot of people are like, I'm not even going to drive to work anymore. I'm not paying Uber this much money every day and shit like that. What am I making? So I might as well stay at home. Then the whole thing just starts all over again. So I'm like,
Working from home,
was this a strategic
working from home has basically become the new normal.
Yeah, but I don't think the work, my opinion, I don't think the working at home is the problem. It's staying at home. I think, like, if you just work at home and then, like, after you're done, you can go out and relax or go out there. It's just, I feel like that's not a problem. I think it was beneficial, especially to, like, most people that, couldn't find a daycare and they had to take care of their kids while working at home. I think that's good. I think the problem is, after you're done with work, what do you do? It's like most people are like, they want to go outside, they want to relax, they want to, go to places like events and football. They're not going to be able to do that because we was locked down. So I don't know. That's what I was thinking. But I've seen it benefit a lot of people, and not just like sex workers, but like people with regular jobs too.
People with kids too.
Workers though,
and people with kids.
What about the daycare workers that losing business?
I mean,
that job is gone.
I mean, not really
Not
though.
necessarily.
Not really. I see.
Not
Shoot.
really.
Because kids still got to go to school. There's some kids that still
No,
got to
I
go to
wasn't talking about
school.
school. I wasn't talking about school. I'm at daycare.
I mean, I don't know. Because
Excuse me.
I would say this. I don't think, like, if you have a government job like a Social Security or a DMV, I feel like you should be in an office. But I feel like other jobs where, like, it doesn't, you don't need to be in an office at 8 days and, like, or be 7 days a week or 5 days a week and all that other stuff. It's just, um,
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
at the same, real quick,
Go
at the
ahead.
same time, this problem is kind of uniquely due to the fact that, as Crystal stated before, our infrastructure sucks. Like the fact that she got to wake up 5 o'clock just to get to work on time, like that's a problem. That shouldn't be a thing even. So I feel like part of the big reason why a lot of people like working from home is just to avoid the fucking commute. Because the commute itself is fucking stressful, especially if you live in a busy ass area. We in the DMV, we know how the fucking we know how commuting is so fucking terrible out here. Unless because like me,
Yes.
I mean, I've been carless this entire time, and I've been able to work my entire jobs. Like, I mean, you see me, I'm everywhere, and I don't have a fucking car. So
Yeah.
a good infrastructure when it comes to transportation is really fucking important. And because we don't have that as a country universally, means that a lot of people have to go out of their way, spend a shit ton of money on a car, spend a shit ton more money to maintain the car. Just a whole bunch of other expenses that comes with the car. You got to pay the car note. Then on top of that, again, we live in the DMV, so you probably gotta pay like the toll if you want to use the HOV or whatever. Like, if you want to go to a certain route, now you gotta pay with the Easy Pass. Like, they made it very expensive to do that as well. So I just feel like this conversation in itself, we really need to look at how infrastructure makes shit worse or how
Those
it
things are
makes shit
not
better.
even necessary either. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Tolls and all that shit. I'm like, just to leave the fucking city. Oh my god! Thank God it was a one-way trip, yo. Because that makes no sense. I feel bad for people who have to go across these bridges and shit on the daily. Ah, 0 cents.
And Brian, them
You know
prices
what?
can get kind of crazy too.
Yeah. I'm glad most of my jobs was in walking distance though. That I didn't have to like ride a commute. The most I had to do was like when I was going to AI and I had to go from Laurel to Virginia. It's like it's like a 45 to a. It took me like 2 hours to get to school sometimes. And if I missed like one of the early buses, I had to go like up the street, and it's a longer ride there. So it's just one of those things where I had to make sure I had to get up for school and all that. I hated that. But,
The thing is about me, I didn't
but
even mind the commute because I love driving to work, to and from work. I didn't mind it at all because it was relaxing.
I'm
But now with
I'm
the
pretty sure
gas, you're like
I'm
now it's
pretty
hitting
sure
your wallet.
yeah, I'm pretty sure driving is one thing, but being
Yeah,
on a bus and riding the metro with a bunch of weirdos, and
hated
especially
that.
if you're in a if you're in the DMV area, there's a bunch of weirdos, or as Crystal said, there's a lot of people that's just like they just bug you for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Like
Man.
you got to. Sometimes you don't want to deal with that. It's just
Never want to do
Especially
that.
when you got kids. So
Oh shit.
say the industry for working home, and this is not an insult for people who don't have kids, is really geared for people who have older kids